Hi, and welcome to the Bad and Bougie Moms podcast show. My name is Britt. I am the creator and host of the show, and on today's episode, we have Miss Kelli Smith. So Kelli Smith is a fresh and fearless businesswoman who is leading and building a successful beauty empire, one ingredient at a time. The founder of the fun-loving, all-natural and vegan beauty brand Cake, Kelli brings a bubbly nature to the industry by serving up the icing on the cake to thousands of beauty routines around the world with a one-of-a-kind line of cruelty-free, multi-purpose handmade products that are just as delicious as they are healthy for all skin and hair types. As an ambassador for authenticity and living in your truth, Kelli launched Cake in order to create products that are good for the mind, body, and environment while adding some fun to a rather bland beauty industry and celebrating all things natural beauty. Hip hip hooray. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure you subscribe, like, and also comment on the Bad and Bougie Moms. Enjoy.
Funny thing, I feel like my education has nothing to do with cake at all. I attended University of Illinois as a pre-med major, and I was there about 3 years. My husband and I started our family, so I did not graduate, but it's kind of funny. When I grew up, I have to go to college, you have to get a degree. That's the only option because you got to get out of my house.
Right.
So I attended college, but really always kind of wanted to be an entrepreneur, always wanted to have a family. So in this role as an entrepreneur for Cake, most of my experience comes from the internet, comes from DIYs, especially in this natural movement where there's so much information out there.
Right.
I'm really kind of self-taught.
Right. And I tell people that all the time because, when they see the mamapreneur because I'm the same way. I did graduate from college, but I have a human resources degree, which has nothing to do with podcasting or, my organizing company, anything. But I tell people, if you just put in the time and the research, you literally can do anything that you want to do.
Absolutely.
So yes. All right. So talking about motherhood, tell us how you found out that you were pregnant because you have 4 kids, right?
Yes.
Okay.
4.
All right.
I kind of want to say my husband is the one who told me. So I think with each of our kids, started showing symptoms, and even though all of them except for that first one were planned, it was kind of him, like, I think you might be pregnant. And I'm, thinking he's joking and take some tests and here we go. So yes, it was him. I think that kind of prompted me to even take a test.
Right. So your kids, so how many boys and girls do you have?
So our oldest is a boy, Kyrie, he's 12.
Okay.
And then our daughters are 9, 5, and 1.5.
Wow. Oh, you sound like me because we have 5 in total. My husband, he brought 2, I brought 2, and then we have Remy. So our oldest is 13, and then it's 10. I'll make sure I get it right. 10, 8, 7, and then 6 months.
Wow.
Right.
It's funny you say you got to get it right because I do the same thing. People ask me, I forget their names, I forget their birthdays.
Right. And it's so funny because growing up, my mom used to do the same thing to me and my sisters. I'm like, Mom, can you not remember our names? And I promise you, I'll call Mason Remy because Remy's the youngest. I was like, I call them, switch their names back and forth all the time. I'm like, it has to be just old age, I guess.
In our family, all of our names start with K.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody else. Like, no one is their name.
Like, you know who I'm talking to.
Exactly.
Like, come on.
Come over here.
Exactly. All right. So when it comes to raising your children in this era, what are some of the morals or habits you have instilled in your children on how you was raised back in the day?
I think the biggest thing that I want them to take away, out of life is kind of try whatever it is that you're interested in, whatever it is that, you want to be when you grow up. And even after you've grown up, if you change your mind, try.
Right.
And I want to say that, a little bit of that comes from how I was raised. Our parents always tell us we can be whatever we want to be. But kind of on the opposite lane is, like I said, I was forced to go to college. Not that I didn't want to, but I had no choice.
Right.
I had to go to college. I had to succeed. With my children, while I want you, of course, to be successful, college is not necessarily mandatory.
Right.
I want you to figure out, what do you want to do? What are your dreams and aspirations? And do whatever you need to do to get there. But that might not be college.
Right.
And I'm, kind of living proof of that. I did not graduate. However, I'm relatively successful in this business that I built. So anything is possible. There's information everywhere. Do your best, but just know that, as we were told, anything is possible.
Right. And I totally agree with you, Kelly, because me and my friends, we talk about this all the time, how we were, forced to go to college. That's exactly what you have to do. You go from high school, you go to college, you get some type of degree, you work in your field, and now it's starting to change. And even when I bring it up to like my mom, when she asked me, what are you going to tell Kaylin and Mason when they grow up? And I'm going to say, I'm going to give them an option. Honestly, if they want to take up a trade first before they, sue college or whatever they want to do, I'm all for it. Because I know so many people who have college degrees and they're not making near what they should be making, or they're not in their field at all. Right. Yep. So
that's money I got to pay for college.
Exactly.
Make sure you're sure about this.
Right. And that was another thing, because it's like with me, I went to, I stayed at home while I went to college. I went here, just went to one of my local colleges, worked, did everything, because my mom was a single mom. So she couldn't afford the whole, staying in the dorm room life, all that stuff. So it's just, it's the college experience. I'm like, hey, if you want to go and get some social networking done, then, by all means, go to college. But yeah, yes. That's it. All right. So next question. Being a wife, mother, and an entrepreneur, how do you balance it all?
Oh, girl, I don't know. In all seriousness, I try to block my time whenever, I can. So I set my priorities. Usually every Sunday I'll go through and figure out and plan out, what are we going to eat this week? What am I going to wear? What are the youngest two going to wear? What are some tasks, that are more, I don't want to say emergency, but the bigger priorities that I have for the week, for business, for families, recitals, or whatever it is, it all goes to the calendar. And yes, my time is literally blocked out. Let's say I want to go to the gym, I want to, read the word, all that. I have to assign a time to it. Okay. Because if not, and I have some free time, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to watch a movie, and I'm going to fall asleep on the couch. I have to block it out. Okay. But even with that, like I said, if there's something important that has to happen, it has to go on the calendar. Otherwise, I'm going to forget. Right. And we're the same way. We have a family calendar that's set up, and then I have my own business calendar. So it's like, if you tell me something and I don't see it on the calendar, I'm like, that's not happening today. Yeah. Like, that's definitely not happening. So what is your typical day with you being a mom and being at home plus running your business? Like, do you wake up at 4:00 in the morning to get stuff together, or you're kind of 8 to 5? Like, what is it? So usually wake up around 5. Okay. And my day starts with kind of, setting my intentions. Like I said, I do my whole week planning on Sunday, but then every morning, wake up at 5, I go to the gym, I read and pray, and then kind of plot out what does today look like. So that means, after the gym, I come back home, make breakfast, get the kids off to school. And then for the most of the day, it's either running errands, working at the computer, meetings, and then I try to have my day kind of done by around 3 or 4. Okay. So that when the kids come home from school, the rest of my time is devoted to them. They like to go to the park. They need help with homework. And then shortly after, right, 5 or 6, we're cooking dinner. And then by the time my husband gets home from work around 6 or 7, the rest of our evenings is kind of just hanging out with each other, watching TV, playing games, because they go to bed at 8:30. And then once they go to bed, then that's, our time just to kind of chill, drink a glass of wine, because these kids don't work our nerves, and, just kind of touch base with my husband on, kind of building that communication with each other, that intimacy with each other. And then when he goes to sleep, I'm back working again. Right. So, and I know I don't have these questions down, but as far as the, making sure you connect with your husband, how important is that for you? Like, you guys make sure, like, every night, that you guys at least talk about your day. Like, how does that go around? It is so important. Yes. Especially because this is my second business. Okay. And one of the takeaways that I learned from my first entrepreneurial endeavor was that my priorities were wrong.
Right.
Of course, family is number one, and the whole reason that I'm building this business is to provide for them and to even pass something down to them when they get older. But even though my husband is important, my kids are important, I was working so hard to build this business that other things that were important to me, they were not feeling important.
Right.
So now it is, I intentionally set aside time. So even if it's not a matter of talking, it's at least, laying in the bed and watching a movie or, cuddling until we fall asleep. Whatever it is, some kind of touch point where you know that you're important.
Right. I totally agree. And you have other people on the flip side that feel like if you don't be about your business 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that you will fail. And honestly, it's the total opposite.
Exactly.
Yes. All right. So here we are all about having mommy time. So how do you incorporate mommy time in your busy schedule? Because I know you work out, which I don't feel like that's mommy time. I feel like that's just something I have to do. So what do you do as far as getting your wind down?
So most of it kind of happens at the end of my day when the kids go to bed. That's my kind of self-care routine where I work on my skincare. I'll do a little bit more prayer and, kind of just chill. Also, again, when my husband falls asleep, that's when I'm reading a book or, listening to music. Most of my, mommy time comes after everyone's asleep and the house is quiet and I can just chill. Right. But then on the other note, when I want to have, more intentional self-care, like a trip to the spa or getting my nails done, that has to be scheduled in the calendar.
Like, you guys, you have to go back to this calendar.
Yes, that is like the data center of where everything happens. Everything.
Right, gotcha. All right, so when it comes, and we're going to flip back to parenting right quick. When it comes to parenting, what are some of the important qualities that that you feel like as a parent that you and your husband both share?
We are, I want to say that the biggest quality is we're a team. And that is really the one thing that we reinforce to our kids, because they will try. Well, Dad said no. If Dad said it, then I say it too.
Right.
We're together. We're one and the same. But as far as kind of advice to other moms and parents is do what feels right. Like, there is so much information that's sometimes conflicting, so much advice, so much condemnation on you shouldn't do this and you should do this. You should know, if you spent the time with your kids, what they need, what they don't need, what they need from you, what they're missing. Because if you spend all your time, well, not necessarily all your time, but if you spend so much time consumed with quote unquote parenting advice and this and that, then you're missing out on opportunities to actually get to know your kids and their personalities and what they need. Because for our kids, they're four completely different people. And the way that we discipline one is the opposite of how we would discipline another. Because their personalities are different and they don't respond to things the same way. So get to know your kids, like know them one-on-one and what they need, and do what feels right to you. Because the way that we were raised is not necessarily the way that we want to raise our kids, and the way that our friends are raising theirs is maybe not a takeaway that we want to apply to our family. Just do what is instinctively right for you.
Right, just do you. And I completely agree with the different personalities. I tell people this all the time with Kaylin and Mason. My daughter, she's very quiet, very, to herself. She's a bookworm. She doesn't like to dance. Well, she's very shy. So she's like, oh no, but my son, he wants a YouTube channel. He is like party. Yes. Yeah. And I'm just like, it's just so funny because they're total opposites. And even when it comes to, like you said, the discipline with Kaylin, we could just say, oh, we're disappointed in you. You have to do better. She'll start crying. My son, we got to get that belt out.
Yes. And that's my daughter. Like, just tell her that she disappointed us and that you shouldn't have done that. She's going to cry.
Right.
And she needs a hug. Like, really, all of my daughters, they need hugs if they've been disciplined. My son, he's a killer.
Right. And I always wonder, like, is that a boy thing? Because it's starting to become a boy thing from everybody I talk to this about. But I'm just like, it's hilarious. All right. So tell us more about cake. Like, how did you come up with the concept? Did it just pop in your head overnight? Like, I want to know everything.
So, Cake is a fun vegan skincare brand, and that's kind of where the name came from. But I want to say the mission and the brand came after the name. I've been DIYing in the kitchen for a couple years, and at the prompting of some friends, "Oh, girl, you should sell this. This is awesome." But I feel like that's what friends are supposed to say.
Right.
That's why you're here, is the sport. But it was actually my husband who helped come up with the name. Okay. I was looking for, something. This was kind of at I don't want to say the beginning, but in this whole green lifestyle, self-care stuff, I didn't want, the typical green leaves, naturals name. I wanted something more fun.
Okay.
Especially, coming from, Bath and Body Works and all the scents and the smell goods and, skincare is supposed to be fun. But just because I'm transitioning into this holistic and green lifestyle, I don't want to sacrifice on the fun.
Right.
So he kind of helped me come up with the name, and it's after the name that the rest of it kind of came, where cake is generally a celebration. At the center of every party, there's a cake. Okay, well, let's take that further. What I want is, again, something fun, but something targeted to women of color and Black women, because we need to be told it's okay to celebrate our melanin. We need to, there's so many other brands out there for everyone else. Something needs to be special for us. And when this was launched, there wasn't anything like that out there. So, that's kind of where it came from, and the mission behind it is I wanted to create something fun and celebratory for us in our skin.
I love it. So with the cake products, do your daughters help you make it, like in the kitchen? Are they very active in your business?
My oldest daughter is.
Okay.
She helps when it's time to kind of formulate new recipes. She's not that I don't want to say my guinea pig, but she helps me mix up the butters and the oils and the herbs and everything. And she helps me in developing the new recipes and also in testing the new recipes.
Gotcha.
When it comes to, day-to-day fulfillment, that's usually my son. He calls himself the operations manager, but I don't think he knows what that means.
Makes him feel good.
in fulfilling the orders and all that.
Nice. All right. So, what have been some of the challenges you have faced when it came to breaking into the beauty industry?
I want to say the biggest struggle that we had, or I had, was, once you've kind of figured out who your target audience is, who your niche is, what I struggled with is, how do I talk to them? What is the voice that I'm using? What is, the story that I'm telling?
Right.
And kind of getting better and better at telling that story so that they get it. So that, they want to come shop. It's not just, another brand and this is how we're different, and kind of finding that voice and that differentiates cake from so many other beauty brands was kind of the most difficult thing.
Okay. All right. And outside of cake, what are some of your favorite beauty products that you use?
I love Herbivore. I love a new, at least it's new to me, I don't know if it's actually new, is Drunk Elephant. Okay. I love, the mission behind Drunk Elephant, and I love, some of their products, specifically their, I think it's their Protini. I don't know what it is. It's one of their products that has Protini, and then I love everything Herbivore. Both of their brands are, again, speaking to that natural, that holistic lifestyle. But what I really love about Drunk Elephant is, again, they're doing it in a fun way, especially with their branding and their messaging. So I think one of my favorite brands is Drunk Elephant.
All right. And it's and it's funny you mentioned that, because I tell people, if you have an awesome story behind your brand, that's what's going to sell it. Because there's so many other products out there that people can use or, purchase and stuff. They're going to have to love the brand for what it stands for and for what it means.
Exactly. And that's, with every, at least with me, every product that I use, I could easily, okay, here it is. My love for Target. I love Target.
Oh, yes.
Everything. Oh. I could easily go to Walmart, but
why? No, why? Exactly. Why would you do yourself like that?
Like, I love Target, and yes, it's it's a couple extra dollars, but the atmosphere in Target is so different than Walmart. And I'm sure even the clothes might even come from the same factory, but the clothes at Target just look so much nicer.
Kelly,
Target has done a great job,
right,
kind of telling that message, and now they even know that a trip to Target means that you're going to come out with a cart full of stuff. It always does in my case. Like, the brand and the story is what, like you said, does a great job at bringing people in, but it also builds that loyalty. Like, we're a Apple family. I don't know why. But we love Apple, so all of our devices are Apple. I'm sure we could get a PC. It's a heck of a lot cheaper, but no, we're an Apple family.
No, it's funny. I'm laughing my butt off because we're the same way over here. Like, I'll tell people I will pay the shopping tax to go to Target. I'm okay with that. Like, I remember one time and it's funny because we know that things are cheaper at Walmart. So me and my husband was like, hey, let's go to Walmart, go grab some groceries. I'm like, okay, I'm going to give it a try, because he calls me bougie all the time. I'm like, I'm going to give it a try. So we get to Walmart. When I said, Kelly, I can't even step 5 feet into the store. I'm like, we got to go. I can't do it. It's dingy. It's dark. I'm just like,
Like, the produce is not the same. Like,
it's not.
I just feel at home in Target.
Exactly. It's like, welcome with open arms. Like, thank you for coming. And then I end up spending like $200 when I just went in there for soap and toothpaste. Like, every time. It's crazy. And then we're also an Apple family. We have Apple Watches, Apple phone, a MacBook Pro, and it's just like, we need to buy some stock. And of course, if someone say, oh, well, why is Apple better than Android? We feel personally offended. Like, why would you even ask us that? Like, seriously, you're questioning the fact that, I don't understand. So, yeah.
They have some loyal people over here.
Exactly. All right. So, what advice would you give a mompreneur that is just starting out?
The one thing maybe two things that I would strongly advise is find your tribe. Surround yourself with people who are going to encourage you, who are going to help you, who are going to give you or help you with the resources that you need, who are going to give you constructive criticism. You need that tribe of people that are going to help you grow. And that doesn't necessarily mean, everyone has to be, sunshine and roses. You need one of those real friends that's going to tell you honestly. But surround yourself with people who are going to help you grow your business personally, even, some mommy friends in there who are going to help you learn how to balance it all. Surround yourself with people who have been there and who can teach you something.
Nice.
But on the other end, I would say include your kids.
Yes.
Especially because this business that you're starting is going to take you away from them in some capacity. Bring them in, let them know what you're doing, show them how they can help, even if it's, packing products into a bag or helping you pick colors for your brand, whatever it is, find opportunities for your kids to be involved.
Nice. I totally agree. My daughter, she's been trying to jump on the podcasting forever. She was like, you keep recording while I'm at school. I feel like you're doing it on purpose. I'm like, no. I'm like, that's just the schedule I have right now. So I told her, I told the kids for summer break, the first week, I'm going to let them do a podcast just saying, what they have planned for the summer and, all that stuff. So they're excited about that. And I told my son, of course, we have to, do another tactic with him. I'm like, look, you need to at least make A's and B's on your report card. And I put you on the podcast. And he was like, okay, yeah, I know. He's just such a special kid. All right. So what is up next for Cake?
So we have some new products launching this year. We're trying to launch 6 new products this year.
Nice.
Specifically in the face and skincare products and another body product. Next year, we're launching our baby cake line, which is products specifically for moms and babies, pregnancy and newborns. And then aside from that is placing ourselves in more retail locations and expanding our list of stockists. So
nice. Yeah. I can't wait till you get. You're not in Target yet, are you?
No. That's further down the line. I don't know if I'm ready.
You don't really.
Of course, that's on the list of things that I would like to do maybe a few years from now.
Okay.
But I really want to I want to keep it mine for a while.
Right.
I want to, because right now everything is made, in our own location.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm ready for that larger manufacturing piece
right,
yet.
Mass production type thing.
And not to say, not like we can't manage it. I'm just, in an emotional place. Like, it's still my baby.
Yeah.
So I want to keep it small for a while.
No, I totally understand, because I tell people, once you actually birth something from infancy, it's like giving up your kid to go to college.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I'm not ready for it to grow up yet.
Right. All right. So next up, we play a game on the show called the Hot Seat, and it's 5 random questions that you have no idea about. So would you like to play?
Yes, I will play.
All right. So question number 1 is, who would you say is the better kisser in your relationship, you or your husband?
Oh, my husband, for sure. Like, I was the biggest scaredy cat, so I've only had two, like, it's him and then an ex-boyfriend that I had some years ago, so he has way more experience than I do.
All right. So number 2, name 3 things a marriage must have in order to be successful.
Trust, communication, amazing sex.
Yes. People, that's just the 3. If you can cover all that and you're awesome at it, your marriage will last forever. I promise.
Forever. You can tackle anything.
Right. All right. Number 3. If you could star in any movie or a TV show, what would it be and why?
Blackish. I just love that show. I love the fact that they tackle so many topics that we bring up in our own house, but in a way that's easily digestible for our kids to understand. Like, we watch that show as a family, and they get it, and I just love the way that they tackle so many issues in our culture, in our community. Yes,
and it's so funny you mentioned Blackish, because do you watch her spinoff show? Grown. Yes.
I know that my daughter's watching.
Exactly. And that's where, because my daughter asked me, and she was like, oh, she have a spinoff show. I'm like, yeah. I said, well, let me check it out first, and then I'll let you know. And then when I seen it, I was like, oh, girl, you're going to have to stick with Blackish. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's not for you.
Exactly, at all. All right. So next question. Let me see where I'm at. Oh, yeah. Number 4. Have you ever stole anything while you were a kid? And if so, what was it?
Yes. I stole some lip gloss. I remember it was like Christmas time, and I was I think I had to be like a freshman in high school, and I had money in my pocket, and I just didn't want to spend it, I guess. So I kept circling like the makeup counter and like slowly ripping the packaging off, and I keep making laps. And they got me on camera, and my parents were in the store with me.
Oh, no.
I actually got some other things that I did pay for, but that lip gloss was in my pocket. And as we're walking out of the store, excuse me, ma'am, could you come over here? So they took me to the little security office, and I had to go to jail for about 5 minutes.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
So you stole something and you got caught.
I did. Like, and I don't know why, because again, I had money in my pocket. I think it was just, that's what kids were doing back then, and I, might as well get in trouble too. So,
exactly. Yeah. Oh my God. All right. So last question. If you had to choose to eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Tacos.
Taco Tuesday.
Every day. Yes.
So are you the type?
I love all Mexican food. Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. So do you like load it up? Like you do the guac, the pico, everything?
See, like, it depends. Sometimes it's just the cilantro and onion days. Sometimes, it's shrimp tacos with the lime sauce or whatever. It depends. And I think because there's so many varieties and ways that you can make tacos, like, there's no way I can get tired of tacos.
Exactly. That was a good answer. All right, well, Kelly, thank you so much for being on the Bad and Bougie Mom podcast show. You are definitely a bad and bougie mom. You're handling it all like a boss. So if anybody wants to follow you or your business, how can you be reached on social media?
So on all social media platforms, my personal handle is Kelliise, Kelliise, and the business is Shopcake, Shopkaike.
All right, then. Well, thank you so much. You would definitely be getting an order from me soon. I just have to run out my other stuff. So I have it on my calendar, actually. So you will be seeing an order from me.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right, guys. Thank you for listening to the Bad and Bougie Moms podcast show. However you listen to our show for today, please make sure that you like, you comment, and you also subscribe so we can get some kudos points, Also, if you'd like to follow us on social media, on Instagram, we are at BADANDBOUGIE Moms. On Twitter, I want to say we are at BBM Podcast, and on Facebook, we are at Bad and Bougie Moms as well. Also, if you would like to purchase a Bad and Bougie Moms t-shirt, you can always go to BritMarsh.com. That's BritMarsh.com. Again, thank you guys.